Hello, everybody. If you're new to my channel, my name is Holly Lee. I am your virtual career coach. I am the founder and CEO of hollylee.co, and VIP coaching is the bread and butter of my business, where I help leaders who are stuck in transition in their career into finding the right level and employers such as the Matane company. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can land a position with your dream company. Either you are already with those brand name companies such as the Amazon and the Google in the world, but I'm listening very carefully. I'm tuning into my community member, which is all of you guys, that you don't understand why folks are not responding to your LinkedIn message. So if you're new, smash that like and subscribe button. If you're hesitant, you don't need to smash a subscribe button yet. With further ado, let's carry on. I want to talk about a couple of my best tip and strategy so that you all can be in the right place. Now, there's a big difference between landing a job interview or job offer and landing the job that you want at the right level, role, and team. I made a post on LinkedIn. If you haven't connected with me already, I'm the only Holly Lee on LinkedIn. I'm very easy and very searchable. Here's why you're not getting your responses, I should say, either LinkedIn, email, whatever resources that you are connecting with. I have the entire playlist about networking, so I'm not going to talk about every single tip I have, but I wanted to address the most important one. Just 3 bullets. The number one biggest mistake that everyone talks about is it's not all about you, because the person you're reaching out to, when you reach out to them, the first thing they're going to do is read your message before even looking at your LinkedIn profile. So if your message down to your subject line is not enticing or interesting to them, no one's going to read it. That is why I call it the return rate. It's very low to 0. It's because everyone is carving the exact same identical message that, a lot of them probably got it off of a template somewhere. So when you're reaching out to folks, you should never be about you and asking for a job, because there are 0 intention and value for the person of why they should invest some time, even at least a minute, into learning more about you if there's something to learn about your background. So I want you to put yourself in the reader perspective, the reader as an AKA person that you're reaching out to on LinkedIn. If you read your own message, would you respond to yourself? Are you asking too much? Are you saying that I see that you're currently a director at Microsoft right now, and I was wondering if you're hiring for your team? It's okay. You could put your hands up if that is you. If that's you, say I. Everyone does that. Even director levels and VP does the same thing. How do I know there's professionals? Because they come to me to help them with the leadership coaching and not sure why they've been a director for 20 years and they can't be a senior director or a VP, not even with smaller players. So your communication style need to up a level a little bit, because right now more than ever, everyone is working from home and a lot of people have been laid off. So a lot of these hiring leaders are bombarded with thousands, if not a million messages. I'm talking about weekly thousands and thousands of messages. The second thing is lack of thoughts. I want you to pause and think about that. Lack of thought, in my definition, is what attracted you to the profile of the person you're reaching out to. If I'm reaching out to you, I'm very cautious. I'm very intentional, meaning that I must have spent at least 5 minutes to look through everything about you. Indeed. I will Google your first and last name down to the company you work for or work with or used to work for. I want to see where I can find a common denominator. Do we have something in common? Do we come from the same environment, the same school? Do we have the same hobby? Something. All you have to do is spend a few minutes, and our best friend Google.com is the biggest whale content browser in the world. It will spit anything you want. So when you're reaching out to perspective, even worse, they don't even know who you guys are. So be thoughtful. Put some thought into researching to know about the person you're reaching out to. The last thing I want to talk about is a lack of effort. It's a little different with a lack of thought. You have thought, you need your effort, which means that I see a lot of people who give up before they even started. The perfect example is, if you were to come to me, I'm going to ask you, how many people did you actually reach out to network, to learn more before you ask for a job? The common thing is 0. Either that or you're spam people with the same messages. The common thing I get is, yeah, Holly, I follow your strategies. I'm in your VIP coaching. Great. How many people have you reached out to? I reached out to 4 people this month. Great. You reach out to 4 people and you expect them to return your message. Now, let's pause and see what your message are saying. So you're basically asking for a job when you reach out to 4 people in a month. That's not how it works. Just think about yourself interviewing for an employer. You don't ever want to put all your eggs in one basket anyway. You want to have multiple job offer, which means you must be either A, like applying to different jobs, also interviewing with like a lot of different employers before you can land the job that you want, job offers you want, and then you evaluate those offers. Yes. Another thing that I've heard a lot is, yeah, I shouldn't reach out to about 5 to 10 people a day. That's a lot. That's it. No more. We're not talking about high volume. We're talking about high quality. Reaching out to 5 to 10 profile a day, and given that you're doing research and homework and critique every single messages, is time consuming. Assuming that you get there. And one of the things that I've been getting from a few of my folks is, Holly, I don't understand. They read my messages. They've seen my introduction video, but they're not responding. And I'm like, are you hearing yourself? That's a good thing. If you know that somebody had seen your video or read your messages and they don't have anything going on right now and don't know what to say to you, there's a couple things. Like one, they could be meaning laid off and they don't have a job. Therefore, they're not going to respond to you and tell you, oops, I recently laid off from Google or Amazon. They're not going to tell you that. They're just not. If you can acknowledge that they read the effort that you put in, that's a good thing. I will continue building that relationship with them. Either you or them one day or another. If you're in the same industry, it may seem very big, but it's really not. You will run into each other again, one form or another. So that's what I want to tell you. The first thing is, don't make your message all about you. Number 2, lack of thoughts. And number 3, lack of effort is not a good thing when you're reaching out to network to land future opportunity. You should be thinking about building long-term relationship versus just, I want this person to respond to me because I want to work with the company that they're in. Every time when you reach out to me, the first thing I do is click on your LinkedIn message. And there's a couple things that I have to say, and I even give you tips. Number 1 is your geography, your location. When you're networking, you're reaching out to folks, they don't know where you are at. I'm based in Phoenix, Arizona. If you reach out to me, let's just say for a job, and you have no geography, and then I have 1,000 people, 1,000 messages I have to look at, I'm probably going to move on to someone different. Especially when you don't have geography. I don't know if you're a local candidate or at least in the States. Even though companies offer remote position, I don't know if the company's based in the US, they would hire someone international to sit remotely, because oftentimes they would have to fly you to build rapport with team events, onboarding, training, or whatnot. The second thing I noticed is your photo. I know it sounds really silly, guys. I know that. The photos are smeared. The light is so bright. Like when I look at your photo, I just don't know who I'm talking to. It's almost better for you to have no photo than a photo that is so outdated. That tells me, and someone from a recruiting background, and I live and breathe on profiles and CVs, right? To make you all look good. I want to make your background a shiny object for all these employers. But if you're showing up with a photo that, I can't really tell your gorgeous smiles, and you have no geography, I don't even know where you're coming from. And the worst part is you have no background, or you'll put the company that you're working for with nothing in it. Remember, a lot of people are reaching out to recruiters and hiring managers right now. So if you want them to click off really quick, you have to keep them looking at your profile for at least a minute. If you don't have any of the 3 things I just mentioned, they will click off within 10 seconds. You think 10 seconds is not enough time? It's very easy. 10 seconds, I'll be able to skim through your entire background from top to bottom. It's really quick. It's just scrolling up and down. So you need to make sure that you have a LinkedIn profile before you reach out to potential hiring managers. Again, do the best that you can and not just sit back and apply to jobs, because the amount of effort you are putting in applying to jobs, why don't you use that effort and cater towards reaching out to hiring leaders? Bye, guys. I will see you next week.